HappiDaze here, and today we're doing the TM walkthrough. So we're going to go ahead and do the super map just so you guys can take a look, see what it looks like, see the teams we're using. We do have to make some changes from the teams that we did yesterday, just more in terms of positioning. So for the Mr. Ford Miss Mary fight, we did have to move the Nami and Sanji unit to the left column to avoid that stun. And basically on the Intrusion team, we ended up having to move the Sanji unit to where the onion pepper carrot unit was on the right hand column, and that just helped us get through the content pretty easily. But other than that, all the other teams seem to work pretty good. So this is a team that we're looking at for using to take on the Intrusion boss. Nothing has really changed here. Like I said, we just swapped the positioning of the onion pepper carrot and the Sanji unit. We did have some supports on there, though. When I looked at the ability of Sanji, when a captain who's Sai, Free Spirit, or one other class uses their special, it rewinds his special by 10 turns. So that actually doesn't mean that we don't need any of the supports that are mentioned on this team to actually go ahead and beat the content, which is fantastic. You'd love to see that. So we're just going to go ahead and keep the team that we're using, just swap the positions of that Sanji and onion pepper carrot. Stage 1 here, we're just going to go ahead and just attack normally, nothing too crazy there. On stage 2, we're going to use the Usopp on the left-hand side there, use his super type and special ability there to be able to just get some damage. Use the onion pepper carrot and the Kaya unit there to just kind of get us a bunch of buffs, get us in a good spot there, and we'll be ready to jam. So we're going to go ahead and use the super type there. We'll rewind the special of Usopp so that way we can get some added benefits for onion pepper carrot and Kaya when their special goes. And Kaya will basically give us full matching orbs as well. Love to see it. We are saving the Sanji unit for stage 3, mostly because that will help us get through the Dex barrier, because it'll give us all Dex slots. And you can see, like, there was just no problem. We had more than enough damage to kill stage 2. Nothing kind of crazy. On stage 3, you get binded for 6 turns on your left column, special reverse on your right column by a bunch of turns as well. So it's just a giant pain if that happens, but luckily for us, we have the super type of the Captain Usopp, who will go ahead and reverse that special rewind that happened, allow us to use his special, and then doing that will trigger the sailor ability of Sanji to be able to go ahead and recharge his special, which means we could actually use it to take care of the bind. We have the supports to actually take care of it, so you could actually replace the Sanji unit here with any unit that you have. They just have to be able to have 1 turn of bind removal as a support if you do replace them. We're using the Ace unit here to give us Dex orbs as well as get rid of the paralysis, and you can see like that works hunky-dory. We have the barrier potential ability on our Usopp, so like 1 hit and he's dead. So that's how you quickly get through the Intrusion boss. If you don't want to have to deal with any of the nasty games, you could also swap that Ace into the captain slot as well. And he'll just take care of that 10 turns of special reverse automatically for you for both turns, so you don't even have to worry about it. But either way, I want to keep kind of similar to the team that I had done in my video yesterday, just to kind of show you guys, you know, who went and built teams that were like that you don't really have to switch too much. It's really just that position that you had to do on there. Otherwise, you're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and go down the left path here, just so we can go ahead and see if we can get some of the more cards. So far, we've got a lot of the nav cards. But one thing I do want to talk about while we have a couple minutes here, while we're just doing some moving, is that I don't know what's going on with the ranking here, but usually, like, if you get to top 1,000 in ranking, usually that's like 10%. So you'd expect, you know, if you follow that similar model, when you get to 500, top 500, it would be like 5%. You know, top 200 would be somewhere around 2%. But you can see, like, the actual percentage here is much higher, like almost double, which is really strange. So I don't know if it's just maybe a bug of how they're displaying what's going on with the ranking percentage, or if they've opened up the new world to more players. I'm just not quite sure. But usually for like the last 3 or 4 TMs, the top 1,500 and 200 kind of correspond roughly to top 10%, top 5%, and top 2%. But obviously that looks like that's a little bit changed. So kind of weird. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll have to see if that changes as the days go on. So first stage here, we're just going to go ahead and kill. Same thing for the second stage, nothing too crazy. If you have units that can do wave clears, you can just replace any of the Sanji, Koala, or Atlas with those units. You'll be more than perfect to do enough damage there. On the boss, all you really need to do is use Izo and Lucci, and that will give you the good orbs that you need, as well as basically helping you get rid of the increased defense and burn. Just makes it really easy to get through the content there. And there we go. With that, we're able to go ahead and just easily kill Izo there. So not, kill Perona there. Not too much problems there. Able to get there without too much difficulty. So let's go ahead and just keep going, and we'll go to the next boss. Our first gold ticket here, and okay, we just get the ability to move 2 slots. So yeah, nothing too crazy. We'll just save them. It's not like we have a rainbow chest that we can get to. Oh, good luck there. We did get 10 tablets of recovery bind. Mostly useless. Like I said, I'd love to be able to actually hit the alternate ink one of these times on those, but that's kind of like a pipe dream, it seems like. So let's go ahead and take on the Miss Mary Mr. 4 fight first here. As I mentioned, the only units you really need on this battle are the Nami and Sanji unit, as well as the Luffy unit himself. They'll take care of the stun, the attack down, and it just makes everything really easy. Nami and Sanji are just here to take care of the special bind. So yeah. Oh, yeah, that doesn't help when you do that. So let me just reset that game real quick. Sorry about that. I wasn't paying attention. But we're gonna go ahead and for the first 2 stages, you just tap. Third stage, you use the Nami and Sanji unit to go ahead and do the special bind, get rid of that special bind, then just using the Luffy Captain special and super type, just quickly get through the content. Sorry about that. So while we're waiting for this to quickly load, just let me know in the comment section below how your TM's going so far. What rank are you? Is it harder or more difficult than you thought? I think the buffs on these stages don't seem like they're as bad. I mean, there's a lot of special reverse on the last 2 bosses, the Intrusion boss and the TM boss, but outside of that, like, the other bosses didn't seem too bad. Ulti in page 1 is a little bit harder, I think, than all the others, but other than that, I think it's pretty, the buffs haven't really been that bad. So go ahead and use the special there, use the special and super type of Luffy. And for those wondering, in terms of what the multiplier is, so I think it's a 32 times multiplier with the fully boosted team that I'm using there. So yeah, I mean, you'd love to see that multiplier, makes things really easy. I'm probably getting, on average, roughly about like 700 to 800k treasure map points per run, which is pretty awesome. You'd love to see that. And I'd be curious to see how many people actually go hard on this TM, right? Right after Anniversary, usually people don't try to rank as hard because they don't really have that much gems for the following TMs and things like that after big celebrations. So be curious to see, what people are doing there in terms of, did they pull for Usopp or did they not? Now, typically, just looking at the friends list that I have now, there's not probably as many people usually who I see with the Usopp captain with the same character there. So I'm guessing that, like I said, a lot of people probably didn't pull as much just because, it just came after a big celebration. So let's go ahead and just get through this fight. So similar to all the other fights, first 2 battles we're just tapping, nothing too crazy there. And then third battle, we're going to use all our specials. Really, Zeph and Sanji are the keys to this team, just because Sanji can go ahead and remove that bind, which is just a pain. Zeph can give us recovery orbs, as well as giving us a rainbow shield to deal with the death hit, so you love to see that. That's super helpful. Yeah, and we just go from there. You do need roughly about 14k HP to tank the hit, so you just want to make sure that if you don't have that, that you always consume 1 or 2 recovery orbs to get that. just to make sure that you can go ahead and pretty easily survive that death hit. But if you have 14k-ish HP, you should be good. So I'm just going to leave Bon Clay as he is. No need to kind of touch that. And just using everyone's special here. And Sugar is just gonna just melt when we hit her with just one of our units. And you can see we'll take that death hit, be roughly 14k damage. So that's the annoying part of this fight. That's probably the hardest part of this fight, is just that death hit there. Alright, now we're taking on the final mini-boss, which is the Ulti in page 1. This is kind of the weird team, just because I think the hardest thing to get over on this battle is really just that paralysis that happens. So, again, we tap until we get to the final stage there. I'm going to go ahead and use the Luffy specials first. That will, when I use the second Luffy special, that will clear the buffs, and that way when I use Kulina and Mihawk, those buffs stick, and it just gives us more damage to be able to go ahead and kill Ulti in page 1 without too much difficulty there. If you want to, you could throw some wave clearers in the 2 bottom slots. They're completely just point boosters on this team, but if you have someone who can wave clear, you could just throw one on those 2 bottom slots, use those in the first and second turn. Just get this a little bit quicker if you want to not have to stall as much there. So let's go ahead and use one Luffy special. It'll get 6 turns of paralysis removed for us, which is great. And then we'll use the second Luffy special, which will get cared of the other 6. We will get our specials cleared because we trigger the interrupt of Ulti page 1 there, but that's fine. We'll have more than enough damage to not even have to worry about it. So we use the Kulina special there. We'll get Mihawk, and that way Mihawk can go ahead and remove that rainbow shield. Makes it really easy to get through the content and kill. And then it's just a matter of just tapping. So you can see we have more than enough damage. Like this team should last to the end, no issues at all. So those are the 4 mini bosses and the intrusion boss. So now the only battle left to do is against the TM boss himself, Kuro Django, and it's pretty straightforward taking them on. There's nothing kind of too crazy or complicated about them. Really, we're gonna end up using. I'll get into the fight in just a second, but we're going to end up using the Yamato, the Kaya, the Onion Pepper special, and one of the Usop's on turn number 2. And then on turn number 3, we'll basically use the other specials there to basically just get us through the content. So let's just take a quick look at how we do that. I do have the Cornelius support on the Ace. That just gives you 3 turns of threshold damage removal at the last stage. There's 10 turns, so Usopp remains 7. That support on Ace will remove the other 3, so we'll just put everyone in a really good position there. So you want to make sure you do use all your specials on your left column in fight number 2, because you'll get special bound on fight number 3, so that's just kind of what we're doing there. So we're going to go ahead and use one of the Usopp specials. Use the super type as well to give the delay, which is good. Use the Yamato special to go ahead and get rid of the slot bind, as well as technically she gets rid of the burn as well. But we can actually use Kaya to get rid of the burn, so it's not kind of the end of the world there. So we'll use Kaya. She'll go ahead and do that for us, and then we'll basically use Ace at the end to get rid of the damage nullification. This is where Blackbeard could be used in place of Ace, but the fact that he gives you that damage threshold removal of 3 turns just like makes him like the MVP of having him on your team. Alright, so on stage 3, we're just going to use our Usopp special super type, use the Onion Pepper Carrot special to get rid of the Rainbow Shield. You have to stall 2 turns, which is a pain here, but it just kind of is what it is. With the delay that Usopp gives as part of his super type, you don't get any of those nasty debuffs though, so it's not really that difficult to get through the content without dying. Special super type, or sorry, super class, and then we'll go ahead and use the Onion Pepper Carrot there. Then you can only do 70% damage, so it'll just take 1 or 2 taps most. then you just wait, and then you just kill on the second turn. So that's pretty much going to wrap up how we did this video today. Like I said, let me know in the comment section below how your teams are doing. If you switched anything up on your teams, or if you found any gimmicks that you weren't expecting, like I did originally with having Sanji in my left column, that made you head to gems. So I'd love to hear how you guys are going on this TM, how crazy you're planning to go, if you're going to go for max rewards, or if you're going for ranking. Would love to hear from that. Personally, for myself, I try to stick like top 1K. That's good enough for me. Like I don't go like super crazy competitive to get like top 500 or anything like that. I've gotten it a bunch of times, but I don't purposely go competitive to get that, just because the gems and everything else that you get just really aren't worth the time investment to keep up there. So that's gonna wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, be kind to each other.